All right, picture this. You're scrolling through your feed, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, and suddenly you see it, a video.
Mm.
It's it's surreal, maybe a little unsettling, definitely looks low effort.
Hmm.
Maybe it's, I don't know, a hyper-realistic AI dog singing opera or some bizarre endless loop of a historical figure doing something completely absurd.
Right, the kind of thing that makes you stop scrolling.
Exactly, and yet it grabs your attention, it goes viral, and here's the real kicker. It's making someone, somewhere, serious money. This is the wild and, well, increasingly lucrative world of AI-generated content. A phenomenon some people are now calling AI slop.
Yeah.
So today on the deep dive, we're not just gonna, look at this trend from afar. We're diving deep. We want to figure out how everyday creators are actually cashing in on this massive AI wave.
Hmm.
Our mission really is to unpack why this isn't just some fleeting internet fad, but something that is fundamentally reshaping the entire media game, maybe even, our expectations of what content should be.
Quite profound when you dig into it.
It's surprising, it's definitely impactful, and honestly, the implications are a little mind-bending.
It's true. What we're seeing unfold here is much more than just a niche internet curiosity.
Mm.
This whole thing has significant, really far-reaching implications. We're talking about how content gets produced, how we consume it, and maybe even the basic value we assign to digital experiences. It feels like a complete paradigm shift in the creative landscape.
Okay, so let's nail down a baseline here, because you listening, you've definitely seen this stuff. Scrolling through TikTok, YouTube, probably Instagram feeds too. These videos, they often stand out because they're just different. They have this certain look, this kind of engineered strangeness.
That's a good way to put it.
But from your perspective, what is AI slop really at its core?
Yeah.
And why is it suddenly everywhere right now?
Okay. Well, at its heart, AI slop basically describes these AI-driven videos where creators are consciously choosing speed and, let's say, immediate shock value over traditional polish.
Yeah.
Things like narrative depth or, original substance, that takes a backseat. The main goal isn't really artistic merit, it's virality, pure and simple.
Speed and shock.
Exactly. We're talking about content that can be generated in minutes, sometimes even seconds, using tools that are incredibly accessible now. Think ChatGPT for whipping up absurd scripts, maybe 11 Labs for voice narration that sounds almost human.
Scarily human sometimes.
Right. And then you have these cutting-edge video generation platforms like OpenAI Sora. And unlike some earlier tools, Sora, for instance, it can generate pretty consistent, complex scenes with, well, remarkable coherence. It really pushes the boundaries of what even slop can look like visually. So this accessibility and speed, it's precisely why it's just exploded. It removes almost all the traditional barriers to entry for creating video content.
And this is where it gets really fascinating, especially for you, perhaps, if you're exploring new ways to make money online or just trying to get your head around these economic shifts. The sheer accessibility means creators, even people with absolutely zero technical background, zero artistic training, they're jumping right in.
It's democratized in a strange way.
Totally. And we're seeing these stories pop up, individuals reportedly earning thousands of dollars every month. Some are even unbelievably quitting traditional jobs or deciding against college because they've found this new, highly leveraged way to generate income.
Yeah, it's become a viable path for some.
It's not just a side hustle anymore. For quite a few, it's become a full-time career, basically driven purely by this technological efficiency. Okay, so that's the what. Now let's talk about the how. I mean, it's one thing to produce these bizarre attention-grabbing clips.
Right.
But turning that into actual sustainable income, that's a different challenge altogether. So what's the revenue play? What's the strategy behind monetizing this often strange, super viral content? How are creators actually converting AI slop into cash?
Well, on a basic level, the monetization strategies are pretty standard.
Mm-hmm.
You've got views, ad revenue, direct platform payouts like from YouTube or TikTok funds.
Mm-hmm.
But the real insight here isn't just about getting, millions of views across the board. It's more about how creators are strategically targeting these really niche micro audiences.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, audiences that maybe traditional content often misses or that algorithms find kind of hard to categorize neatly. These very specific, sometimes pretty bizarre interests can be monetized really effectively, often before the platforms fully catch on and start filtering or maybe deprioritizing that kind of content.
So they're finding gaps.
Exactly. They understand that sensational stuff, designed to make you click or watch just a little bit longer, directly boosts those revenue streams. We've even seen some creators kind of deliberately introduce subtle glitches or imperfections
Namely, why?
to make their AI stuff feel, I guess, more authentic in its very strangeness. It's like a weird psychological hack to keep viewers engaged and maybe avoid being flagged as purely synthetic.
Wow, that's a crucial point. It's not just making stuff, it's strategically understanding the whole ecosystem. And what seems really astute about these creators is their timing. They are absolutely striking while the iron's hot,
Definitely.
monetizing this content at an incredible scale right now, often before the big platforms can fully adjust their algorithms or, roll out stricter moderation. It feels like this high-stakes race, and, well, currently, a lot of these creators seem to be winning.
For now, at least.
And some are even taking it a step further, right? They're teaching entire courses on how you, the listener, can master the art of AI slop and start generating income this way, too.
Oh, yeah. It's become its own little cottage industry. Gurus, training programs, a whole 9 yards.
But the big question hangs there. Is this really a sustainable, long-term play? Or are they maybe just setting themselves up for an eventual, algorithmic smackdown?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. It's just quite mind-boggling how simple the formula seems to be for this virality, and yet how incredibly effective. Speed plus shock. It almost sounds too basic.
It does, but you see how perfectly those two things work together in our current digital world. AI's core strength is generating content way faster than humans ever could. This speed means an almost constant flood of new material, nonstop.
Right.
And you combine that with shock value content that's unexpected, visually weird, maybe emotionally provocative or just strange. It creates this almost irresistible pull.
It cuts through the noise.
Exactly. That shock grabs and holds attention, which, as we all know, is the scarcest resource in our feeds today. It keeps those super short attention spans high, just long enough to register as a valuable engagement point for the platform's algorithm. It's basically a psychological trick amplified by computing power.
And we know how those platform algorithms work, don't we? It feeds itself. With every swipe, every curious click, every second watched, the algorithms see that as engagement, then they reward it, they show more ads, they push the creators higher up in the feeds to reach even more people.
And the cycle just repeats.
Yeah, building momentum. It's a really effective, almost addictive feedback loop.
But this does raise a pretty important question, especially as this trend gets more established, more entrenched. A lot of established creators, the legacy ones who built careers on originality, on craftsmanship, a unique voice, they're starting to get concerned, really concerned.
You can see why.
They're asking, is this flood of AI slop actually devaluing originality itself? Is it pushing human creators out, making it harder for high-quality human-made stuff to even compete with the sheer volume and speed and maybe even the algorithmic preference given to this AI content? It definitely makes you think about the value we inherently place on human creativity versus AI generation.
Yeah.
And, well, if that line is slowly starting to blur.
Yeah, that definitely brings us to the more critical angle, the flip side. Because while the money and the viral aspect are compelling, no doubt,
Right.
there are some pretty significant ethical implications and broader societal concerns that we really need to talk about as this trend keeps growing.
Indeed. If you look at the wider picture, critics are raising some serious alarms, serious ones. We could be looking at a potential tidal wave of misinformation, for one.
Yeah.
Also, a noticeable drop in overall content quality across the board, and, well, a worrying erosion of creative standards.
It feels like a race to the bottom sometimes.
It can, yeah. And the provocative question becomes, if AI can just mass produce bizarre clips that go viral simply by being shocking, what does that actually say about originality, about the effort it takes? And maybe even more critically, what does it say about our cultural palate? What we as an audience are increasingly willing to consume, maybe even seek out.
That's a tough question.
That delicate balance between profit and authenticity, which has always been a bit tricky in media, it really seems to be slipping with the rise of AI slop. This isn't just about, bad videos. It's potentially about a shift in our collective ability to discern quality or truth.
It truly feels like a digital Wild West right now, and you can see regulators and even the platforms themselves kind of scrambling to keep up.
Absolutely.
They're trying to figure out how to manage this new type of content, what rules to put in place, how to maintain some sense of quality control or, content origin without accidentally stifling innovation or legitimate creative uses of AI. It's like trying to catch smoke.
It's a huge challenge, and this creates a really stark choice for anyone wanting to create content today. A sort of existential choice almost.
How so?
Well, you can either chase that fast cash, right? jump on the AI slop trend,
Yeah.
try to generate revenue quickly at scale, or you can choose to invest your time and energy deeply in craftsmanship, in originality, in that unique human touch that, well, AI still struggles to replicate. Arguably, it can't truly create it.
The human element.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here is that the individual choices being made right now by countless creators, whether they lean towards quick gains or towards real artistry, those traces are going to ultimately shape the entire creative economy for years, maybe decades to come. It really feels like a defining moment.
It really does. So next time you bump into one of those strange, maybe slightly unsettling AI-generated videos that sort of sticks in your brain long after you've scrolled past,
Yeah.
you're not just being weirded out by some random internet thing. You are actually watching a major trend actively reshaping creative entrepreneurship, reshaping the very fabric of our digital media world right in front of us. This AI slop, it might seem low effort from the creator's end, but as we've discussed, it is proving to be incredibly high revenue and, crucially, high impact. It's a profound shift we're all living through, whether we fully grasp the implications yet or not.
Which really raises an important question for you listening to think about.
Mm.
In this new age of algorithmic shock content, what kind of creator do you ultimately want to be? Or maybe, what kind of content do you want to actively support? How do you personally define value and authenticity when things like speed and virality can be generated so easily, almost automatically? It's something worth pondering.
Absolutely. We definitely encourage you to keep mulling over these powerful shifts in our media landscape because understanding them is, well, it's not just the first step to navigating them, but maybe, just maybe, even shaping them into something a bit more reflective of our, human values.